Biles goes bronze, Mansion motorboats Graham, and DaBaby apologizes, which means Matt Damon's daughter is out there doing her job. And that's just some of what's going on recently in stuff. Here at Geeks Who Drink, we write over 19,000 quiz questions a year, so you think we wouldn't have time to keep up with the news. But guess what, motherfucker? We do it anyway! This is Recently in Stuff. Good afternoon, happy Friday, and welcome to Recently in Stuff, Geeks Who Drink's weekly news quiz. I'm Aaron, and let's do this. First up, last weekend the pro-Trump social media site Getter was flooded with posts from what militant group? Hey, guess what? It's ISIS, who joined QAnon's and Sonic the Hedgehog porn on Jason Miller's new free speech site. Luckily, the site's mods were able to pick out the offending posts from amongst the other violent religious extremist screeds, thanks to the ISIS posts having suspiciously better English grammar. Next, hooray! It's Biden's infrastructure week! Turning to entertainment news, Emma Stone is apparently considering joining what Marvel star in her lawsuit against Disney. That's Scarlett Johansson, who's suing Disney for breach of contract after they released Black Widow to their streaming service. Rumors are swirling that others, including Stone and Jungle Cruise actress Emily Blunt, may file their own suits. Here's an artist's rendition of what that might look like. And that gag cost us $200 million. But also in the world of Hollywood, on Monday, Amazon completed filming of the first season of their prequel series set 2,000 years before What Fantasy Standard? It's Lord of the Rings, which is very exciting, although to be accurate, the show's title is a little bit of a misnomer because it's reportedly taking place during the Second Age, during the heyday of like Numenor and Valinor. So I think you'll find at the beginning of that age, the One Ring hadn't yet been forged by Sauron, since he was disguised as Anatar in order to seduce the elves, especially Celebrimbor, only accessible through the straight road. So, Let's hope they address all that. What's that? That's the sound of a manatee with Xanax psychosis, which means it's time for the week in Florida. On Saturday, some dope in Jacksonville climbed into an enclosure and got mauled by what biggest in the Americas cat? That would be a Jaguar. An unidentified man in his 20s survived the encounter. And the event, while tragic, marks the first good tackle by a Jaguar in Jacksonville since 2017. Next up, after a year and a half of COVID closure, San Francisco reopened what mobile landmarks on Monday? That would be cable cars. They decided to go back to cable after an unsuccessful experience with satellite. No? Okay. This week, passengers were stranded across the nation due to widespread cancellations by what No Frills airline? That's Spirit Airlines. As of the time of filming, over 1,200 flights have been canceled at a loss of almost $1,000 in revenue. In literary news, Twitter users were duped this week by an accidentally verified fake account for what curmudgeon author? That would be Cormac McCarthy, and this is actually the second time, this isn't a joke, that Twitter has verified a fake McCarthy account. The famously media-shy Blood Meridian author, this is the joke, released the following statement in response. Next up, last weekend, over 400,000 attendees over 3 days descended on Chicago for what music festival? That was Lollapalooza, where a mostly maskless crowd crammed into Grant Park to jam out to music acts like, let's see here, $9 bottled water, I remember those guys, okay. Overflowing chemical toilet, yeah! Super Spreader, oh, he's pretty good. And, Journey? No thanks, Lollapalooza. Speaking of Midwest disasters, what Major League Baseball team traded away 11 players last week? That would be the Cubs. And now let's take a look at a partial list of the assets the Cubbies gave away.
Hey, we out to
And finally tonight, in sadder news, on Monday, the U.S. Olympic women's soccer team was knocked out of competition by what friendly nation? Megan Rapinoe said, quote, "It sucks to be beaten by Canada, but we should really be used to it by now, right? Since they're handing us our butts and everything that matters. Healthcare, syrup, flannel deployment, and worst of all, production of likable Ryans. Oh, Canada. But don't you fret, we will claw our way back, both America and this show. We will return next week with more recently in stuff. But for right now, we have a little bit of time to check out the rest of those Cub trades. Roll it, and I will see you soon.